What's up, everybody? This is Aaron. Welcome to the Unnamed Horror Podcast. Kind of, sort of. There's our special guest, Mr. James Stokes. What's up, James?
Hey guys, hey Aaron, how are you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Doing great.
Thank you for coming on. I know you're busy. You're doing a lot of stuff. You said you had a con today or this weekend, and
Yep,
movies left and right. So
I've been pretty busy over the last couple of weeks. Been doing a lot of traveling, for our new movie, The Forest of the Trees. I've been to four premieres so far now. So I know we're having another one in Jonesboro in next week or the week after that. But I'm not going to be able to make that one. That's at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not going to be able to make that one. But yeah, it's been great being able to travel and promote the movie and do all that stuff with so many different crowds and so many different people getting to see it. It's been great.
the movie was awesome. I've done a lot, like different reviews and stuff. I even did a spoiler review, which I guess I can upload now. That I sent you a couple of weeks ago. But that was a great movie.
Yeah. Thank you.
So let's start talking about you a little bit. Like, tell us a little bit about yourself. What you were like. What it was like growing up for James, and when did you start really becoming a big fan of movies and acting?
Oh wow. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm 53, from Kentucky originally. Growing up, when I was really young, we didn't have a TV until I was probably, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5, something like that. I mean, you're talking early 70s. And, I stayed out in the yard till it got dark, if not longer. So, my early career was just playing sports, doing as much sports as I possibly could. I mean, I grew up on sports, playing little league basketball, kind of like junior pro basketball, and then got into football as in middle school and high school. And then I played all 3 sports in high school. I played football, I played basketball, I played baseball, did it all. So, doing that. Plus on top of that, I sang in the choir at school, started doing musical theater in high school. That's what got me into the love of acting and doing the music and singing and dancing and stuff like that. So that's my early career in a nutshell, pretty much. I mean, it was all about sports all the way through college. And then, of course, high school got into the singing and dancing and doing all that stuff in the musical theater. And and that's what brought me here today, pretty much, I guess.
So I never knew you did. Never knew you did theater. That's pretty cool, especially.
Oh yeah, I started out in theater. Grease and oh my goodness, I played the White Rabbit in Alice in Wonderland and stuff like that. So yeah, dude, I did a whole bunch of different things. I would dress up and go to nursing homes and kids places, elementary schools, and did Bible studies and stuff like that as a robot, and teaching kids about the Bible and stuff like that. So I love that stuff. It's been being in the entertainment business pretty much all my life, somewhere, somehow.
I always thought, and I guess this was my own stupidity, but I always thought you were from here because you hear so much in Arkansas. You're shooting movies.
No, I'm in Arkansas a whole lot, but no, I've never lived in Arkansas. I'm not from Arkansas. I grew up in Kentucky, about an hour and a half away from Nashville, Tennessee, and but I've been living in Nashville now for about 18 years, and love it here. And I probably won't never leave Nashville. As far as that, I don't see myself leaving Nashville.
Oh,
it's been great.
Yeah, totally understand. Just like I said, for some reason, I just assumed you were, because you've done so much with Jason and you've done so many Arkansas movies. I just assumed you were at least from the area, like maybe not from Arkansas itself, but
no.
Kentucky's a pretty good little drive away.
Well, usually when I work with Jason, I'm driving anywhere between 6 and 9 hours. So it's that's the way it is. And I'll continue to do that. Matter of fact, I'll be doing it again. I just got cast in another Jason Pitts film, so I'm looking forward to going back.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one at the end there. The Margaret Stone movie or series, a mini series, I suppose is what it is. Mm-hmm. So when did you first? I know you've talked about this before, but just for people maybe who don't know, how did you first meet Jason and get involved with him?
We was working on a film out of Alabama. Um, we've been on several projects together, but we was working on a film in Alabama together, and we just became instant friends. He was the DP, and I was an actor, and we became good friends. And one night we was sitting at a table eating dinner, a bunch of us, me, Jason, Olivia. Oh my goodness, a whole bunch of other people were sitting around the table, and he got to talking about a movie that he wanted to do, and that was Jason Voorhees, a Friday the 13th fan film. And it's like, oh my God, if you ever do that, I want to play Jason. And didn't hear nothing else about it for months. And then all of a sudden he called me one day and said, I got a script written for it. You want to see it? I said, yes. So I got the script for it, and it's like, oh my goodness. I said, well, you know what I said? He goes, no, you're my Jason. He said, you are my Jason. So that's when it all started, man. And but we, as far as the Alone series and stuff like that, yeah, he had some local actors from Arkansas. Of course, Livia was living in Arkansas at that point, and so was CJ and a bunch of others and stuff like that. So I didn't get a chance to get in that one because, well, it just wasn't feasible for me to drive, or for him to pay me to come from Nashville to do that. But we've been on several films together, and our friendship struck up, and we're like brothers now, and we do a lot of stuff together. He trusts me, I trust him, and we just take it from there and make good movies.
So obviously the biggest thing that you've been known for at this point in your career is Jason. You mentioned the Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah.
And I've heard you say in other interviews, I've heard you in videos, you said it opened up a lot of doors. Like you're doing these conventions right now because of Jason, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Opened so many doors. I've gotten to meet so many people. When you can go to one of these conventions and go out to eat with the director of Friday the 13th, Part 6, Tommy McLaughlin, that's saying a whole lot, and getting to do that and getting to meet all these people that's played the character or that has had some kind of role in a Friday the 13th film. It's just been absolutely phenomenal. And they accept me just like I'm one of them. And I love it. And it's just been absolutely phenomenal. Going to these cons, these conventions, and getting to meet the fans that are just fans of Jason. It doesn't matter if it's on the big screen or if it's streaming or where it's at. It's these fans that come and I get to meet. It's just absolutely incredible, and it just fills my heart with joy, man, getting to meet these people.
He's such an iconic character, and
Absolutely.
I know you and I have talked about this before, but not on the air. Like you had to have some kind of trepidation. I know you're excited, but there had to be like a little bit of just a little bit of fear of taking on such a huge role, even if it was.
Dude, I was scared. Scared to death. Yeah. I was scared to death getting in that suit and stuff like that. And it was because I didn't want to screw it up. I didn't want to get it. I didn't want to do something stupid or not look like Jason. If you go back and I did. I went back and I watched every Friday the 13th film that was made from one all the way to the ending. And I got to talk to Kane Hodder at a couple of conventions and got to call him and talk to him about how he did it. And it's just he told me, he said, James, you put the mask on just like I do. He said, just be yourself, play the part just as yourself. He said, you'll be fine. And I did. And I took it, and it's just people have really liked what they've seen when I was on screen as Jason, and it turned out really well.
There's a lot of, when people, especially when I watch it, because Kane's my favorite, although Part 6 is my favorite movie. So I love CJ.
Oh, really? CJ's part, yeah.
But Kane's still my favorite Jason.
Absolutely. Kane will always be the number one Jason in my book as well.
So when you're watching you in that movie, there's a lot of Kane Hodder in what you do, but then you can also see a little bit of James Stokes. Like you could see a lot of Kane, but you see some differences that are uniquely you that I haven't seen in other movies, other Friday the 13th movies.
And I tried to do that. I didn't want to emulate any one Jason. I wanted to bring it to life as myself as well. That's what he told me to do, and that's what I tried to do. And I think that I pulled it off pretty much. I hope I did anyway.
Absolutely. The fight scene at the end between yourself and Bigfoot, yourself and Madman Fulton was just awesome. It looked like just two big badass brutes just beating the crap out of each other.
That's
But
what
there
it
was a
was.
point.
Let me tell you, I was sore after that. I mean, I'm not kidding you. He picked me up and threw me, and I threw him over top of me and everything else. I mean, it was fun. Yeah, it was great.
That's not the body slam is the one thing always because Jason's always like a big and you're a big guy. You're not a small guy at all. But
Mm-mm.
Madman's like massive. And when he picks up Jason and gives him a body slam, it's like Jason looks like a tiny kid in his arms. Like he had you up like
I know. Yeah, he was several inches taller than I was, but you know what? I almost outweighed him.
oh really? Like I know he doesn't seem like a big guy. He's a tall guy. He don't seem
He's
like he
tall.
never
Yeah,
seemed
he's
like
tall. He's not real thick or anything like that. But yes, I almost outweighed him. I think I did outweigh him during one part of the thing. But yes, I mean, because I'm thick. I'm really thick, throughout. So but I outweighed him, even though he was a few inches taller than I was.
well, we may come back to Jason at some point during this thing, but one thing I wanted to talk about. Hey, look, Amy Lynn's back again. Oh my gosh, she's got video too. What's up, Amy? There you are. Well, there's video. Most of I don't know if her mic's working though. uh, but I saw you in a couple of movies.
Everything on my end
There
is
you go. We can hear you now.
showing this work.
Well, there she went again. Anyway, well, I saw a couple of your movies on Amazon recently called Reunion from Hell 1 and 2. And
I'm here.
those, there you
I
go.
swear.
There you are. Those movies were a lot of fun, and I started talking to the guy who wrote and directed them, Hayden, who played the main character too. He seemed really,
Yeah.
he's really cool. But
Cool.
in Reunion from Hell 2, you got to work with some awesome actors like Danny Hassel and
Mark
Mark
Lisa,
Patton and Lisa Wilcox.
Wilcox.
Yeah.
The first one, Kathy Podwell. Yes, I got to work with some great people. Yeah, Hayden's a great guy, man. He's very talented dude. And yeah, he wrote Reunion from Hell, and then I had a small part in that as a cop. That he introduced me as the cop, and he brought me back in Reunion from Hell 2. I had a much bigger role in it as and me and Lisa played, boyfriend and girlfriend in that and all that stuff, and it turned out really well. It's just your classic slasher film that I mean it turned out really well. We shot it for like 10 or 11 days up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and it was amazing. Yeah, it was a fun shoot.
Yeah, that was really cool. When I saw you got to work with those people, because Nightmare on Elm Street's my favorite franchise, and
Okay.
so when I was probably about 6 or 7 was when 4 came out. So Lisa Wilcox was my first crushes. So I'm like, oh, I got to work with Lisa Wilcox. That's really cool. And then Mark Patton, part 2 is probably my favorite of the franchise. So
dude, that guy is hilarious, man. He's such a fun guy to have on set, and he's just such a pro, and stuff like that. Danny's same way. I mean, they're just pros, I mean, they've been in some iconic movies as well, with the Friday the 13th series and stuff like that. And Lisa she was great to work with. And so, yeah, I just absolutely love doing those series. Yep.
I heard that there might be a part 3. Have you heard anything about that?
I have, and I can't say a whole lot about it because Hayden hadn't really told me much about it. But there's absolutely a possibility that there could be a 3. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. Amy, can you hear us? I know you're there. Can you say anything? I think she's still having technical issues. Yeah, looks like it. So another one you did, of course, you had a small cameo at the end was the Batman movie. And
yes.
Again, being a Batman fanatic like I am too, that was really cool to see you at the end. You want to talk about Deathstroke?
Yes, you're going to see me probably play Deathstroke later on this year. Maybe at the end of the year, I think we're going to start filming. Hopefully, Will has said that We're going to be filming that at some point, but yeah, I'll have a much bigger role in the next one as Deathstroke.
So talk about your physically, like you're a ripped dude, and as Deathstroke, you didn't have a shirt on. You had huge, your muscles were massive, and what's your like workout regimen? What kind of stuff do you do?
I try to work out 6 days a week, when I say that, I'm doing separate muscle groups when I do it. Like just say on a Monday, I'll do chest. Tuesday, I'll do back and shoulders. Wednesday, I'll do arms. Thursday, I'll do legs. Friday, I'll go back to my chest and do chest and triceps or chest and arms again, twice. So I hit some muscle groups twice a week, some muscle groups just once a week, and I try to mix it up a little bit. Dude, I'm 53, so I have to stay in the gym. And it's not easy anymore. I'm not 25. So, staying in the gym is really hard. It's a lifestyle change. There's days where I don't want to get in the gym, but I make myself go anyway. And I go for an hour and a half to 2 hours and just try to push through it and do the best I can to maintain what I have right now. I'm 6'2" and I weigh about 230. So right now, and so I'm a pretty good size guy. Yeah.
What kind of got through most of the questions way quicker than I wanted to, but let's just talk about Forest Through the Trees for a little bit because we haven't really done that yet.
Absolutely.
But so you play Ken, and kind of there's that spoiler review out now, so we can kind of talk a little bit more openly about it. There may be some spoilers for people watching this.
Oh, we've already had a big spoiler review with me and Jason and Scott and a bunch of us. I think Annie was in there. So we've had a big spoiler podcast that we've done. I still don't want to say, there's certain things that I won't say, but you know what I'm saying. It's just because there's certain things in the movie that I want people to see. But playing Ken was a very emotional part for me. It's playing a stepdad. We losing my wife, her mom, not knowing why she left. And for a whole year, not having her around, and me spiraling out of control as an alcoholic and going back to my PTSD from the military and stuff like that. It was just a character that was very emotional throughout the entire film. Being called a no good for nothing because I drank, but I felt like I had to drink to get rid of the memories of the war that I had. So it was a very, and a lot of times I was crying on set, and it was very emotional for me because I was a stepdad anyway. And then Annie played her part amazingly and just really just tore at my heartstrings, especially when she looked at me and said, you're not my father, you don't love us because you're nothing but a no good drunk and all that stuff. And it really hit hard. And even when it's not real, it is real, and especially when you're in character, it just hits different. And it was a very emotional movie for me to play.
Yeah, I'm a stepdad myself, so that was why when I got lucky, I got to read one of the drafts of the script early on. Jason let me read it, and I was like, that character, I already knew that character was going to be one of my favorites because, first of all, I knew you were playing him, and then secondly, like I said, I'm a stepdad too, and my stepdaughter, who now we are super tight. I love her to death, but at the time when I first met her, it was you're not much. She was like 7. She wasn't 17 or 18. She was only 7 at the time, which made it even worse because she knew that I wasn't, but she was so young. I thought maybe I could, we get really close and tight. It took years for that to happen. So with Ken, it was like, I kind of saw a lot of myself in that moment anyway, where it was like, you could tell throughout the movie how much he loves her. And deep down, you could kind of tell how much Annie's character loves him too. But it's like she's guarded. She doesn't want to.
Absolutely, she's guarded. I mean, it's just, her mom been gone for a year. She just feels like that everybody that loves her leaves her. And yeah, I mean, I can't blame her for feeling that way. But at the same time, dealing with everything that I was dealing with the war, the dreams coming back and messing with me, not being able to sleep, and then going to the bar and drinking and stuff like that. It'd be rough on any man. that had that to go.
There's a scene, one of the first scenes you're in after the mother disappears, where you break down crying. It's the first time I've seen James Stokes as an actor like go that far. Like I've seen you as the badass Jason. I saw you as the sheriff, in the Reunion from Hell movies, but I never seen you do something like that. Did it take a long time for you to get into that headspace to be able to do something like that?
No, it didn't, because it's just no. There's things things I won't talk about that just happened in my life that all I had to do was go to that place but listen, like I said again, Annie and Olivia did their job, and it was like so good that it like, because I look at Olivia anyway like a sister, and Annie, getting to know her. This is the first time I'd ever met her, but getting to know her on set and getting to treat her like a daughter and being there and being around her and stuff. When she said those words to me and smacked me and pretty much just told me I was good for nothing, it hit, and it just literally, the tears were real. I mean, they were absolutely real. It took me a while to come down off of that after after that shoot was over. I mean, it was hard on me. I mean, it really was. And to regroup and to get into the next scene, it took a while. I mean, it really did. It was an emotional movie for me and Annie both, especially me and Annie. And Olivia. I mean, Olivia is just, like I said, she's like my little sister, and I love her, and she knows this. I love her more than anything in this world, and um, it's very emotional. That's pretty much all I can say. It's just very emotional.
So y'all shot that movie, I've heard, in reverse order. In fact, I know y'all did in reverse
Yeah.
order, ending first. So you got to be kind of the big badass Ken, and defending everybody and having major fight scenes and things like that before you had to do
right off the bat.
Yeah. What was that like? Was that fun to get to be like physical and do stuff like that?
Again, I got into that mindset of I'm protecting my daughter, and I would do and I had a line in the movie that I will stroll through the gates of hell and lay down my life for Satan if that's what it takes to protect my daughter. And pretty much that's the mindset I was in. I would have done anything to protect her, and that's what I did. Every one of them guys that tried to come against me, they were not going to win, because I was after one thing, and that was to get my daughter back, and nothing was going to stop me.
Those are some awesome moments and fights. Like I said, I thoroughly love the movie. I've seen it multiple times, and we'll watch it multiple more. And I know it's going to be streaming at some point this year, so that'll be really cool to
Yes,
see.
I cannot wait till it comes out for everybody to see, because lots and lots of people that have not, because we only streamed it, I mean, we only premiered it pretty much. Well, we did one in Iowa City, and then the rest of them have been all in Arkansas. So, but I have a lot of fans that are wanting to see this movie that just hasn't had a chance yet. So I can't wait till it comes out on our streaming networks to where we can get this movie out and let people see it.
So what other things do you have coming up now that Forrest is done? You've done that. I know you got Margaret Stone coming up at the end of the year. You got anything else coming up?
I do. I have a film that I'm going to be shooting in Kentucky here in the next couple of weeks. I think next couple of weeks. It's a true story. It's a true story about a soldier back in the 1960s, came home from the war, found his wife cheating on him, and so he killed her and threw her over a bridge. And that's a true story, and it just happened probably about an hour and a half from here. And so I'm going to play a cop in that one. So I've got that coming up. I've got, of course, the Margaret Stone, the trial of Margaret Stone coming up later on this year. I've also got Heart of Ice, I say Heart of Ice. I'm not sure what the name of this movie is going to be, but it's another Batman fan film that Will is going to do, and I'm going to be playing Deathstroke in it, and I'm thinking that that's going to be later on this year as well. I got there's a couple more that I am signed on for that's out west that I can't say a whole lot about right now or what's in it, but I have signed on for those. I just don't know the dates of when that's going to be yet.
So I heard you talk on another interview, and this was sounded a lot of fun. I haven't heard nothing about it lately. There's a TV show you were supposed to be the sheriff of a series.
Yes, that. Of course, TV shows right now have been put on hold. So for whatever reason, that one right there has been put on hold too. It's not out of the picture, but it has been put on hold. And I was going to play the lead role in a TV miniseries. So as a sheriff, yes. Mm-hmm.
Now this is one time about next is something like I know it's near and dear to you, and I love it too. I have two little kids that are in school right now.
Mm-hmm.
You go to different schools and talk to kids about bullying and things like that. You said you used as a way to get in.
Yep. And now's the time when that's fixing to start. I always do it at the end of the school year. That's pretty much when they open up the classroom for a person like me to come in and talk. I always go to middle schools and I talk to kids about making the right choices. You know, there's 3 C's in life is what I say. You must make a choice, to take a chance, to make a change. And so I go and I talk to these kids about this because they're getting ready to go into high school, which is some of the hardest times of your life, pretty much. And I say that because of peer pressure, because of decision making and stuff like that. Sometimes you think you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof as a freshman in high school or as a senior in high school. And sometimes you make the wrong decisions because of the people that you're following. I'm telling these kids that no matter what, whether you go alone or whether you go with your friends that trust you, you got 2 ways to go. You can either go down this path or you could go down this path. This path is going to take you down the wrong direction. This path is going to put you on a direction to where you're going to succeed and make the right decisions. Sometimes that path right there, you're going to have to walk alone because not everybody's going to choose the right way. That's what I'm trying to tell these kids. Every day, there's a chance to make a change. You got to put more value on your choices because our choices is what determines our destination in life, literally. If you choose wrong, sometimes your destination is going to be going to a very wrong place. It could be jail. It could be death. It could be anything. You don't want that. So the choices that you make in life determines your destination. Always has. So as a young person, you know, you can choose a life of ease and comfort, and you can choose a life of service and adventure. Which one, when you're 90 years old, are you going to be more proud of? You know, are you going to ease and comfort or a life of service and adventure? And when I say service, I mean choosing the right things, doing the right things, helping out your neighbor, helping out your mom, helping out your dad, doing the right things in life that's going to make you the person you are after high school. And that's what I try to do. And these kids, sometimes I use my mask now. You know, I take my mask and I show them, you know, I made the right decisions. I became, you know, and I'm not ashamed to say that because I did. I didn't follow the leaders of these guys in my high school that made wrong decisions and did wrong things, went out and stole something or went out and did something really bad or something like that. I went down the right road and I chose the right friends and made some good choices in my life. I went on to college. I did my best, whatever I could do. I had some good jobs, worked in EMS, worked in a factory. You know, I've done different things in my life. I rode rodeo for a while. You know, I just chose the right things in life for me to succeed when I became this age right here. So that's what I go to schools and talk about, the 3 C's of life. So the choices, the chance, and the change.
What got you started doing that? Was that something somebody come to you, or did you go to people to get started doing that?
Dude, what got me started doing that was seeing all of these kids, whether it be on TV, on the national news, or whether it be in my neighborhood or whatever else, seeing these kids getting bullied, seeing these kids making wrong decisions and going to jail or getting hurt or getting killed or something like that. And I said, I felt like it was my duty to do something about this. And that's the reason I'm always trying to promote positivity in all of my posts on Facebook, all of my posts on Instagram, everything that I post, whether it be of me in a movie or me in the gym or whatever else, there's always something positive in my message. I just feel like that it's my duty as a person to help someone else. If I can help one kid make the right choices in life and succeed, I feel like I won. I feel like that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not going to save everybody. It's just like being an EMS. First thing we learn, you're not going to save everybody. You're not going to save every person that you go and help. So that's the way I look at life. If I can help one person at every school that I go to make the right decisions and right choices, then I won.
That's awesome, man. Again, having two little kids and two teenage daughters myself, two teenage stepdaughters myself. That's
especially girls. Especially girls. Girls, I have found, and if you do the research, everybody will. Girls are the worst bullies out there. And I hate saying that, but they just are. Especially with social media nowadays, you can bully someone and not even be in front of their face. You can bully them right over your phone, right over a text message, right over a message in Messenger or whatever else. One of my main quotes that I tell these kids: do not allow anybody to make you feel like you're a nobody. It's not fair in life for anybody to make you feel like you're a nobody, because everybody's a somebody. And that's what I got to get across to these kids. And man, when they come up to you and they hug you and they tell you that I've changed them and that I'm going to make the right decisions, that makes me prouder and more happy than anything in this world. I don't care what movies I've done, what movies I will do in the future. That right there makes me the happiest person on earth to be able to do that. To see a kid smile, to see a kid laugh, to see a kid hug me and tell me that I've changed their life. That makes me feel better than anything in this world.
Well, I appreciate you. I know a lot of parents appreciate you, and a lot of kids appreciate you because, like I said, there's not enough people out there doing stuff like that. And I try talking to my kids, but that's pretty much as far as I go. But I'm not much of a public speaker, just to be honest with you. For one, and two, I have a lot of issues myself that I feel like I'd be a hypocrite if I went out there and try to tell other kids to do what I'm not doing myself. So, but anyway, you're awesome, and I appreciate you doing that.
And I appreciate you saying that, but man, I do it because of my love for kids and my love for humanity. Pretty much, I just don't. There's so much in this life. There's so much going on in this world that is negative and that is terrible and that is just. It's just the kids nowadays don't need that in their life. They need positivity. They need something to look forward to instead of, God, what's going on in this world today. And it's just it is what it is. But I'm not going to look at it as it is what it is. I want to change something. I want to do something what I can. I guess I got the gift of being able to talk in front of kids and stuff like that. And because it doesn't bother me, it's because I know what I'm doing is right. It's not that I don't know. It's just something I felt called to do, is go to these schools and talk to these kids. And now it's getting to the time to where I'm fixing to get in schools and go talk to these kids about that and tell them about, the path that I took and how I got to where I'm at. And they all can do the same thing. They just gotta. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes, like I said, you're gonna do it by yourself. You're not gonna have no friends because they're gonna ridicule you. They're gonna talk about you. They're gonna laugh at you and everything else. You got to be strong enough to take that walk by yourself. But I guarantee you, in the future, it's going to pay off for you.
Amy Lynn, you're back. Do you can you hear us? Is your mic working or camera working? I'm not sure. She said earlier she was just going to hang out because she couldn't really say anything, but she came out and went back in again. Looks like she's frozen though.
Yeah.
Lord knows I've had plenty of issues with my internet, so I get it. Let's do like a little quick, like kind of rapid fire, kind of get to know you a little bit kind of thing. Just I like doing this sometimes for fun. What's
Sure.
your what's James's favorite movie?
Ooh, golly. Favorite. That's so hard, man, because I got so many favorite movies out there. Uh, golly. Favorite movie. See, that's the thing. You got genres. You got horror films. You got action films. All that stuff. So,
Okay, what's your this is the horror podcast. We'll go with horror. What's your favorite horror movie?
my favorite horror movie is
Yeah.
Friday 13th Part 4. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
What kind of music do you listen to when you're working out?
Country music.
Oh, okay. So new country or older country?
All of it, dude. I put my headphones in, and I know some people say you can't work out with country music. That's all I do. I'm a country guy at heart. I have been. Now I love all genres of music. Don't get me wrong. I love some AC/DC. I love Korn. I love all of that stuff. But at the same time, country is what I go to. So I know I'm weird when it comes out to that, but you know what? It's been working for me for this long. I want to stick with it.
Yeah, absolutely. If it works for you, it works for you, man. What's your favorite? Have you ever been to any concerts? And what's the best concert you ever been to?
Hank Williams Jr. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
I went to a Hank Williams Jr. concert, and it was just absolutely phenomenal. Now I've been to a couple of Hank concerts that wasn't phenomenal. He alcohol kind of got him in a couple of them, but yeah, that and Garth Brooks. I've been to several Garth Brooks' concert, and Garth puts on a heck of a show, man.
I'm the first to admit I'm not a big country fan, but my wife loves country. And 2 years ago, he was in Fayetteville at Razorback Stadium.
Yep.
And he bought us. She's like, "Will you please go?" Because she knows I don't like country. I'm like, "It's Garth Brooks. Okay, I'll go because he's a legend. I'll go watch him at least." I had an absolute. He like you said, he put on an amazing show that night.
But last year I went to the Kid Rock concert here in Nashville. Ooh, you talking about that was awesome, dude. He puts on a heck of a show, man.
He's going to be in Little Rock in June. I'm going to try to go to that one because I've not been to
Oh,
Kid
yeah.
Rock.
I love Kid Rock. He's a great guy. Yep.
What's your first experience that you can remember? Because I know it's you might have been to a bunch, but your first theatrical experience you can remember. First time seeing a movie in the theater and going, "Oh wow, that's
cool." My first theatrical movie. It was a horror film, actually. I'm wanting to say it was The Omen. Might have not been The Omen, but it was something like that. But I was 12 years old, and I wasn't even supposed to be in there. But we went. Of course, we snuck into the movie theaters all the time. But so I was like 12 or 13 when I snuck into the movie theater to watch a horror film, and I absolutely loved it. And so I've been a horror fan, well, pretty much all my life. I mean, I used to listen to Wolfman Jack, man, on the radio. I don't know if you know who that is, but
I know that. Sir.
Oh my God. I would listen to Wolfman Jack on radio, me and my brothers, and it would scare us to death. And we lived in a big farmhouse, man, on a big farm. And good Lord, my brother, I mean, there were 7 of us. So we had the time of our lives listening to Wolfman Jack.
I grew up watching, I don't know if you've heard of him, but Joe Bob Briggs. He's John Bloom. His real name is John Bloom, but he goes by Joe Bob Briggs. And I didn't know this. I was watching that guy as a teenager on Monster Vision, as a kid growing up in my teenage years, loving the guy. And then I found out he's actually was born here in Little Rock, or born in Little Rock.
Wow, that's awesome.
Joe Bob is from Texas, but John Bloom is from Arkansas and then moved to Texas when he went to college. So I'm like, oh, that's so cool. So yeah. My first theatrical was as a kid too, and I was like 4 years old. Was not supposed to be in that movie, but my parents actually took me to it.
Wow.
They were like, "All right, fine, but if you have nightmares, we'll never do this again." And from that moment on, I was addicted to horror.
Well, how old are you?
40.
You're 40, so I'm 53. So I got a few years on you, but yeah, it's cool.
Man, this was awesome, James. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you've had a long day and you're probably exhausted, but I appreciate you coming on, man. I've been trying to get
absolutely, man. No, I love it. I love doing. I've got several more podcasts to do over the next few weeks. I just got done doing a couple of radio shows. June, I'll be headed to Pennsylvania for another convention. I got a few conventions. I'll be headed back to Frankfort, Kentucky for another one. I'll be headed to North Carolina for a horror convention. Maybe Florida. I think I got one in Florida. And my biggest one is probably next year. It looks like I might be going to Scotland. So it's I've got some pretty good conventions coming up, man. So
Man, that's awesome. I'm happy for you, proud for you. You're a great guy, and you keep kicking ass, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Aaron, I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, James, for joining us. Amy Lynn, sorry it couldn't work out, but we'll try again next week. I got Marks Mitchell coming on next week. And,
Marks.
Yeah, we're supposed to do it today, and I screwed up and completely missed. Even though I picked the date, I got the date wrong. Totally messed it up. But
tell Marks when I smack him, you son bitch. Just tell him that. Just say James said you son bitch.
Will do.
That's what I called him. So I love Marks, man. He's great to work with. I love that dude. He is fantastic, and just an overall great guy, man. I loved working with him. That scene that we had in that movie was absolutely phenomenal. And he played that so well. So, I mean, he beat the crap out of me, before that happened. So I had to get some revenge on his ass. But, I had to let him beat me up, though, because they were going to kill my daughter.
The greatest part is I'm watching that with a couple other people who aren't necessarily horror fans.
Yeah.
And to the part where you were doing the torturing, I won't say it because I haven't seen it yet. But people were around me were just like, oh, God. Like it was... Yeah. It was something that just made people go, "Holy crap!" That's
people wasn't ready for that. I don't think that was pretty good. That was a really good torture scene. I love that. But Marks, man, tell him I love him to death, man. He's a great guy. I can't wait to work with him again. So,
will do. Thank you everybody for watching that's seen this. James, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And
absolutely, brother.
Talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. See you next week.